This is Matthew Kratter from Trader University, and today I want to talk about the massive wall of money that is coming for Bitcoin. Now, the current bear market has been really brutal, and it's been going on for a long time, but it's very important to remember and to realize that it's not going to last forever. And in fact, many months into a bad bear market is paradoxically a really safe time to be buying something, and that is assuming it's going to survive. So if you're dollar cost averaging into a stock that's going to zero for whatever reason, maybe a bank stock during the great financial crisis, that's one thing. But if you are dollar cost averaging and buying something in a very deep bear market that is going to survive, and my whole channel is about reasons why Bitcoin is so important and why it will survive, then buying in a bear market is paradoxically a really safe thing to do. And it's important to remember all the wipeouts we've already seen. We've seen 3 arrows and all the contagion from that, BlockFi, Celsius, Voyager, Terra Luna, and I'm leaving out a lot. And on top of all of this, the Fed has hiked very, very hard. So hard, in fact, that the yield curve has become deeply inverted, which has really hurt risk assets across the board. So sentiment is very, very negative, but it's important to remember that the weak hands have already sold. If you didn't sell in 2022 through all this volatility and all this pain, then you might be a real Bitcoiner with strong hands. Bitcoin has made its way in this process from weak holders to very strong holders like myself and like all of you who are listening to me on this channel. And it's important to remember the seeds are being planted for the next massive bull run. It's a little bit when you're very, very cold, it's hard to imagine being hot. And when you're very, very hot, it's hard to imagine being cold. The same thing goes through bear and bull markets. And I've been through so many of them since the mid-90s that I know what they feel like. And I know that just when you feel hopeless, that's actually the best time to be buying an asset. So where is this wall of money coming from? I just want to review that really quickly. There are rumors, and again, this hasn't been announced, but the fact that this is sort of a trial balloon that's being floated means that it's almost certainly on its way, that Fidelity is going to add Bitcoin trading to its brokerage platform. The firm has more than 34 million brokerage accounts, as the Wall Street Journal reports. They also have about 10 trillion in assets over at Fidelity. And so this is just a massive amount of money. Even if just 1% or 2% of it were to make its way into Bitcoin, that would have a massive effect on price and on adoption. And so this shows how early we are, that you can't even buy Bitcoin in a regular Fidelity account. And to put these numbers in perspective, Bitcoin, as I'm recording this morning, has a market cap of just 380 billion versus that 10 trillion in assets sitting over at Fidelity. If you think about a $380 billion market cap, it really is just a speck of dust in terms of the size of financial markets. So global bond markets are on the order of 100 trillion, and global real estate markets are on the order of 100 trillion. Gold has a market cap roughly 10 trillion. So 380 billion is actually less than the market cap of Johnson & Johnson, the maker of all of these products. So you have to ask yourself, should the world's new monetary reserve asset trade at the same market cap or lower than a mouthwash and baby powder company? Again, you have to believe in Bitcoin. You have to understand why it is going to become the world's new monetary reserve asset. And we've talked a lot about this on this channel. But if you do, then you have to ask yourself, how can this be trading below the market cap of a company like Johnson & Johnson, which is a decent company, but much less important than the new global reserve monetary layer. Other good news where this wall of money is coming from, I just want to review. We've covered these stories over the past months, but I want to have them all in one place. So in addition to the Fidelity story, which we talked about today, we know that BlackRock is partnering with Coinbase to offer Bitcoin to all of its institutional clients. And this is really huge news because it means that an asset manager, also with 10 trillion under management, just like Fidelity, will be directing investing flows to Bitcoin. And the nice thing about institutional clients is they're willing to take down really large chunks of assets that they like. I'll link to this story here from MarketWatch about BlackRock partnering with Coinbase. And we can go back and forth about not your keys, not your coins, and how BlackRock is a pretty evil company and how Coinbase is a pretty evil company. But the nice thing about Bitcoin is it's for the evil companies, it's for the good companies, it's for the so-so companies, it's for everyone in the world as a neutral asset. Other walls of money that are coming, BigCommerce, we just heard this week, has launched Bitcoin payments for its 60,000 merchants. And we're still waiting for this, which is going to happen soon. Jack Mallers' Strike company is going to be integrating with various point of sale POS providers to enable all of these merchants to accept Bitcoin. That is also huge. We've talked about that in a previous video. And none of this includes the end game, which is really that arms race of nation states and central banks buying Bitcoin. We've seen El Salvador move to a Bitcoin standard and also take down a fairly small amount of Bitcoin. But what happens when there's a global competition for those last Bitcoin that are not being held by Bitcoin maxis and cold storage? This is where you get real price appreciation, because nation states and central banks are not price sensitive. If they need to take down Bitcoin and own some Bitcoin for a reason, because it is the world's moving to a Bitcoin standard, then you will see parabolic price movements. That probably doesn't happen in the next couple of years, but this is definitely something that could happen by the end of this decade. So the next bull run is coming. The question is, will you be there for that? Bitcoin doesn't care if you're going to be there for that, but I do care, and I want all of us to make it safely through this bear market and be ready for the next bull run. I don't know when it's coming. We might have to wait till the 2024 halving. We might get the bull run starting sort of mid-cycle here if the Fed pauses or is forced to reverse course by blowing up something in the financial markets. And so we don't really know the timing, but what we can do is we can continue to dollar cost average. We can continue to educate ourselves and do research. It's a really nice time in bear markets to cover some of the more theoretical and technical aspects of Bitcoin, as I've been trying to do on my channel, talking about proof of work and proof of stake. It's much easier to concentrate when you're not in a massive bull run. So bear markets are for building, as the saying is, and bear markets are for learning. So I hope you'll take this time, rather than watching Bitcoin's price oscillate, you'll take this time. You can go back on YouTube, watch all my old videos about Bitcoin and its more technical aspects. And then if you want to take it to the next level and go a little bit deeper down the Bitcoin rabbit hole, you can also check out my paid courses on my website once you've exhausted all the free material that I offer on YouTube. If you want to check out the paid courses, click on the link in the description notes below. Use the coupon code that is there as well. And so I hope we'll all be ready when the next bull run gets started. And again, we don't know the hour. We don't know when this is coming. We just have to make sure that we're prepared and that we're holding our Bitcoin in a safe and sovereign manner, holding it in cold storage. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that subscribe and like button. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I publish my next video. And let me know your questions and comments in the comment section below. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.